We've detailed the dangerous and sometimes fatal consequences linked to nitrous oxide abuse, a gas that's illegal to buy and sell in Louisiana, often at vape and smoke shops, despite its intended use to make whipped cream.
Yeah, we travel to St. Louis, where one family is placing the blame directly on companies and retailers that make and sell the gas. Rob Krieger explains why they're warning other parents of those supplying a high after whippets forced them to pay the highest cost.
I'm in heaven. Oh my goodness. I want to feed you. Look, take it.
You kind of know what to expect, but you don't. You have your child laying there lifeless, hooked up to a bunch of machines.
She was my best friend. I lost my mom when I was 19. And then a few months later, I found out I was pregnant with her, and she saved my life.
Marissa was the best of us.
She was just always so goofy and happy, and you know, and some days I just feel lost without her.
Marissa Politte was the glue of her family.
Very easy and outgoing all the time, always in a good mood, always happy.
She had a very infectious laugh. When she was in the room, you knew by that laugh.
Her family says she was a bright student, played saxophone in the band, and eventually entered the medical field, working as a radiology tech at Total Access Urgent Care in Baldwin, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis.
The last few years with that job, she was a workaholic.
But Karen Chaplin, Marissa's mother, could always count on an evening chat with her daughter to stay connected.
It was raining so bad that night.
October 18th, 2020.
She was supposed to call me whenever she got off work, and that's not the phone call that I got.
As Marissa walked out of work just steps away from the front door, Trenton Geiger was driving his parents' Honda Pilot nearby. Only a few minutes earlier, he was here, the Coughing Cardinal, a smoke and vape shop in the St. Louis suburbs. It's where Geiger bought 24 cartridges of nitrous oxide, then got behind the wheel and started inhaling. Geiger drove northbound on Clarkson Road. As he approached the intersection, he inhaled a whippet and passed out behind the wheel. His vehicle began to veer across a hard concrete median, 2 lanes of traffic, another curb, through a light pole, before slamming into Marissa Politte.
You're not in trouble with us at all, man. We just need to make sure you're okay physically, okay? Try to take a deep breath. Definitely.
What's your name?
Trent.
Okay. Trent, who's the president of the United States?
Trump.
Okay. What year is it?
2020.
I don't know.
In the moments after the crash, Geiger received medical treatment inside the same place where Marissa had cared for so many others. Just feet away outside, her glasses lay in the dirt, her shoes thrown yards away from the point of impact, a twisted nightmare of mangled metal, shattered glass, and blood left by the violent collision caused by nitrous oxide.
Are you able to tell me how she is?
She's in critical condition.
As the weight of the reality of his decision sank in, Marissa's family scrambled into the dreary night to Mercy Hospital, the closest trauma center to the crash.
It took me a little bit longer than what it should have taken me to get there. You know, and then they told me that she wasn't going to make it.
Rushing to her bedside, Marissa's parents only had minutes with their daughter before she drew her final breath.
It's hard to see somebody in that condition and to know everything that had happened.
She shouldn't have been there.
Why'd you get off me now?
As Karen soaked in the remaining moments with her child, the evidence of the crash was impossible to ignore.
She initially just started running her fingers through her hair, and then there was a piece of glass and another piece of glass.
Jason Politte, Marissa's father, could only watch as the shards stacked up and the details of the violent crash became clearer.
He put her back into the lobby through the panes of glass and metal. She had probably a, I don't know, pile of glass by the time, you know, everything was starting to shut down.
Gripped with grief, Marissa's family suffered yet another blow as her final wish was shattered in the collision.
At 4 o'clock that morning, I got another phone call letting me know that they couldn't donate any of her organs. He took that from her too.
Are you with him? All right, don't let him leave. There's a witness. I saw him throw some whippet bottles, like air dusters.
Geiger later admitted he ditched the nitrous after the crash, attempting to hide the fact he was inhaling whippets while driving. Police documented that evidence, tossed into the woods nearby green Whippet brand nitrous oxide chargers, but only found about half of the 24 cartridges he bought at this vape shop a few minutes before the crash.
How is it legal to sell this stuff at head shops?
Attorney Johnny Simon with the St. Louis-based Simon Law Firm represented Karen and Jason in a civil trial against the head shop that sold the nitrous, Geiger, and United Brands, the company manufacturing and selling nitrous oxide under various labels, including Whippet brand, across the country.
It's kind of a massive commercial operation. You have 10 or 11 major players, distributors, who have kind of taken advantage of the lack of enforcement at really any level.
Simon proved to a jury United Brands had a conscious disregard for the safety of its customers, targeting retailers like Coughing Cardinal with massive quantities of nitrous.
You look at the actual numbers and you see the frequency of sales every month. Another 24,000 packages, another 24,000 packages, up to the point where you've sold enough nitrous oxide to cover your community 7 foot deep in homemade whipped cream. What is going on?
Marissa's parents say it's clear United Brands and the companies selling nitrous oxide in smoke shops have one priority.
It's all about the money. They don't care about people.
They were absolutely putting profit above people. And they still are today.
But I do know you can't get the balloons that you need storage at Walmart.
Simon says nitrous manufacturers still target smoke shops across the country and in the New Orleans area in overwhelming numbers, making hundreds of millions of dollars a year, while nitrous addicts enjoy easy access to the gas, putting innocent lives like Marissa's at risk.
Marissa's life was taken that night. She will never be married. She will never have a child. She will never be able to be an aunt to her niece and nephews.
After reviewing internal emails from United Brands, sales records, and undercover video from inside Coughing Cardinal during a case heard last year at the St. Louis County District Court, a jury found United Brands and Coughing Cardinal were liable in Marissa's death, awarding her family a staggering verdict of $745 million.
We weren't here for the money. We were one of the first people to take this to a full trial. And, you know, that I think did a lot of justice for Marissa.
Justice is why they're determined to force change within the industry and nitrous companies like United Brands, beginning with a 9-figure jury award. Still paltry next to the life of a child.
It's not about the money. I would give my last breath for her to be here.
Trenton Geiger pleaded guilty to second-degree involuntary manslaughter. He's currently serving a 2-year sentence in a Missouri prison. Coughing Cardinal claims it stopped selling nitrous after Marissa's death. During our last visit last month, the shop did not have any for sale. However, nitrous is still on shelves across the country, including here in Louisiana, including United Brands Whippet cartridges.
And in the days before this verdict, United Brands filed for bankruptcy. It has not filed an appeal, though earlier this month it filed a motion for a new trial. Karen and Jason have set up a retention fund at Marissa's school in St. Louis to help other students like her. They say they hope to make it a full scholarship in the future. Tomorrow night, in the second part of our series, learn what United Brands CEO had to say about Marissa's death in a deposition that shocked attorneys, and why her family says the company is targeting retailers supplying